What's up, everybody? Sorry for that little weird ending there. I was like messing around with FL Studio while that was all going on. That was like a little bit of live mixing because I like to mess around with it in real time. I am Cortex Zero. This is 0 Hour. Thanks for being here. We have a lot to talk about tonight. I have so much stuff to show you guys. Like, this is mind-blowing. I'm very excited to be going over this topic again. And there's actual good information to discuss. Hello, Vox, Apple, Sheev, what is up? God, what are you doing here, Sheev? Cool to see you here, man. Hope everything is well. Like, it's fantastic. So, let me just preface the stream by telling you guys that this is the important piece of information that you guys should have up front. There were images and footage that leaked online. I don't know if it was posted to Twitter first, or if it was Mystery Wire first, which is a website that will appear in today's stream, or extraordinarybeliefs.com, another website that'll make an appearance. But again, the Navy is involved here, and it's footage that shows a triangular, unidentified flying object that approaches a naval destroyer. It's caught on film, and now there's also other images of a craft that looks like an acorn, another one that looks triangular, that's like the images of that incident, and then there's one that looks like a sphere. So those leaked online. No, you're good, Chief, man. I'm happy to have you here, man. Those leaked online. And the Pentagon came out and said, yes, this is real. So that's what we're going to be looking at today. There's a lot here. I had to really gather my thoughts. I got a couple other cool little things to throw into the mix, which maybe I'll do first. But nonetheless, let's get going. So I wanted to show you guys this image first. This is a newly updated image of a black hole. I guess a different method of capturing the image was used this time, but you are looking at a supermassive black hole. Not even light can escape that. The gravitational power is unrivaled in the universe, as far as we know. And there is nothing you can do about it when you get close to one of these. It's pretty amazing. Hey, Lily, what's going on? Hope you're doing well. Now, another thing I wanted to show you guys, which I want to cover at length another time. This is called the I always say this wrong. Antikythera mechanism, or just like the Antikythera mechanism. It's what they think may be the world's oldest computer. It's thousands of years old. It's like a mechanical device. And I think we should probably have a look at it. There we go. I'll get my scenes all together here. Sorry about that. I mean, I don't know if Superman can escape a black hole. Probably, because he's overpowered. Right? Like, he's always so overpowered. Let me make sure that it made a post and live stream. Oh, whoops. That's not where we want to be. Let me go back to Jedi Temple. Where Toot Toot is at. Toot Toot. What is up? Are you here? Toot Toot's here, but he's just not talking, I guess. Let's see here. Announcements, live. There we go. Okay, just making sure that worked. Alright, so this is where we're going to want to be. We'll read a little bit of this article, because it is cool. It's very interesting. Is that 0 Hour draft? Are we in the right spot? Okay, I posted all this stuff in 0 Hour. Welcome back, Tutu. You're live. No, Alright, so we'll look at the mechanism. Make sure that the
Sorry, I gotta go do something.
do your thing. Do your thing. I'm also gonna I'm gonna pop out the live stream chat. Oh yeah, it's gonna get way more interesting, so you may want to stick around, Chief. You may really, really want to stick around for this. I'm very serious, especially with the stuff that I'm gonna be going over with regards to the UFOs. That is really what you're gonna want to be here for. That is like the main part of the stream. Alright. Summoning demons? You probably shouldn't do that. Ever. It's probably not a good idea. This ancient computer and other anachronisms from early times leave us with more questions than answers. Researchers at University College London recently announced they have digitally recreated the design of a 2,000-year-old mechanical device known as the Antikythera mechanism. I'm sure I'm saying that wrong. Which some believe may have been the world's first computer. The mechanism, composed of a highly sophisticated hand-powered gearbox, was thought to be used to accurately predict the motions of the 5 planets known to the ancient Greeks who built it. The mechanism was so intricate in its conception and engineering that many scientists were baffled by it when it was recovered from a shipwreck in the Mediterranean Sea near the island after which it is named. Often regarded as the world's oldest known computer, nothing like it has been found before or since. In fact, the next recorded instance of technology even beginning to approach the sophistication of the Antikythera mechanism occurred a millennia after the device was built. Covered in a green patina and corroded from the 2,000 years it spent in seawater, approximately 82 pieces that make up the mechanism have been recovered. The wooden box that once housed the mechanism was nearly entirely rotted away by the time scientists uncovered the artifact. But with its precise and deliberate bronze angles, 24 or so clock-like gears, and even instructions inscribed on its components, archaeologists determined that what they were seeing was genuine. The Antikythera mechanism is the world's first known analog, not digital, computer. The artifact was so intricate that only by around 2006 did advanced X-ray technology and other intensive examination of the mechanism finally give scientists an idea of what the device looked like when it was fully intact. Currently, archaeologists believe that the Antikythera mechanism computed the movement of celestial bodies, the sun, the moon, and planets, by calculating their movements in the sky. The mechanical calculations worked by way of numerous gears and dials, making it capable of accurately tracking lunar and solar eclipses. That's insanity. For as old as it is, that's hard to imagine. There was even a calendar function that counted down to large sporting events in Greece, such as the Olympics. Despite how much is known about it today, the mechanism still intrigues scientists for several reasons. One is that despite the amazing testament to ancient Greek sophistication that it provides, the next most recent appearance of any similar computing device on par with the Antikythera mechanism didn't appear until the 1600s in Europe. Why such a feat of technological capability surfaced with the mechanism and then seemingly vanished for 2,000 years is a mystery yet to be solved. Yeah, as you can see here, that is it. Again, there's the idea that maybe there was a civilization that was more advanced than we realized that was around on our planet at one point. You know, maybe this is actually older than we realize. Yeah, who knows? I could be wrong. Friend me on PlayStation. What up, Spooky? That is you, Spooky. You the best. Yeah, I'm here, man. I'm here. I just had to pop up the chat.
Oh.
Damn, Sheev. Well, Sheev, just because you're here, man. Oh, what's up, Tutu? What I'll do is...
Who is Sheev?
He was one of my first moderators.
Mm.
We're gonna get into this UFO story. I think that is important. I think it needs to be
A hamburger.
needs to be brought up. All right, so here we go. This is fun here. Pentagon
What's that
confirms.
YouTube tab?
What?
I saw a YouTube tab and it was like a weird Mario.
Oh, we were watching a speed run. Some guy broke the Super Mario World record, like, this week. Like, for finishing the game, speedrun. Pentagon confirms leaked UFO images are authentic. And as you can see, here is one of the images. The Pentagon has confirmed that U.S. Navy personnel captured several leaked images and a video depicting unidentified aerial phenomenon, or UAP, involving incidents being investigated currently by the Department of Defense's Unidentified Aerial Phenomena Task Force, or UAPTF. I can confirm that the referenced photos and videos were taken by Navy personnel. The UAPTF has included these incidents in their ongoing examinations. Pentagon spokesperson Susan Cow, or Koff, or Co, or Go, I don't know how you say her. I think it's Gao. We'll say Gao. Susan Gao. It looks like a C from over here. Sorry. Told the debrief in an email. That's another website that may make an appearance tonight. John Greenwald, who runs the popular government document archive, The Black Vault, also confirmed the videos were authentic via a statement from Gao. On December 3rd, 2020, the debrief reported on a leaked UFO photograph captured by the rear seat weapons system officer of an FA-18 fighter jet. The object in the photo, now referred to as the Acorn, and two other newly leaked images depicting unusual aerial objects were published by KLAS in Las Vegas investigative journalist George Knapp on April 6, 2021. George Knapp is the man. This guy has been following this area of study for about as long as I've been alive, if not longer. He's the first person to interview Bob Lazar. If you don't know who Bob Lazar is, we're definitely going to have to cover him in a video. I have no problem doing that. I would love to do that, actually. It's a fascinating story.
Bob Lazar has had some... Yeah.
Bob Lazar, if you don't know who he is, Bob Lazar claims to have worked at S4, which is part of Area 51. And says that he worked on reverse engineered extraterrestrial technology and saw things with his two eyes that we couldn't even begin to dream of. That just, it's exactly like some people think it is. They have crashed flying saucers in hangars in the desert, and they're trying to figure out how they work. And every few years, they bring in some random people that may be like, you know, not only just intelligent, but they think outside the box. Maybe they're unorthodox, which is why they chose Bob. And they have them look at these things, and they roll them out of the hangars every now and then, dust them off, and say, hey, take a look at this. Maybe you can help us solve some of the issues we're having trying to understand how these operate. So that's Bob Lazar. Anyways, back to the article. The other two images, described by Knapp as the metallic blimp and sphere, were all reportedly captured within a period of 30 minutes on the same day. So these are multiple unusual objects. Let's zoom in on that. And again, some people thought maybe like a Kevlar balloon, but the pilots had comments that they made comments that would make me believe that they knew these weren't balloons. For them to take it this far, there was evidence to suggest that what they were seeing was highly unusual. Initially, when the debrief reported on several intelligence reports of UAP encounters widely distributed to the U.S. intelligence community, the photo of the Acorn object was said to have been captured in late 2018 off the East Coast. Subsequently, sources familiar with the incident have confirmed to the debrief the date reported by Knapp of March 2019 is accurate. Sources from several intelligence agencies who have seen reports on UAP told the debrief that some of the confusion about specific dates involves when reports were made available to different agencies and components, in addition to when the UAP task force began official dissemination of materials to intelligence analysts. Now here's the sphere. We'll again zoom in on that. Highly unusual object. And again, I know it's got a look almost like it's a lens flare, but again, like this, these pilots are highly trained, very intelligent individuals. They've been doing this a long time, very likely. They know what they're looking at is unusual. They wouldn't just take a photo of a reflection. They would be able to determine very quickly that this is not a reflection and it's an object of some kind. The debrief has obtained original copies of 3 photographs, believed to be the same ones reported by Knapp to have been discussed in a private briefing hosted by Nevada billionaire and owner of Bigelow Aerospace, Robert Bigelow, on April 6, 2019. I've mentioned Mr. Bigelow before in a previous Zero Hour episode, I believe. In his article at Mystery Wire, Knapp reported the photos to show 3 separate objects, all taken on the same day. So far, the debrief has not been able to independently confirm that these were 3 different objects. However, analysis of the image metadata supports that pilots took all 3 photos over a 32-minute period on the same day, which that's very important. According to the metadata, the acorn image was captured by the forward-facing camera of an Apple iPhone 8 on March 4th, 2019. A similar analysis using Jeffrey Freet's image metadata viewer reveal the blimp and sphere photos to have been captured on the same date of March 4th, but describe the images as being screenshots. Okay. Here, let's quickly watch this video. Oh, it's already fast forwarded here. Let's have a look here. Again, shout out to the debrief for this information and this video. This is the footage I wanted you guys to really see. Watch this. This is fascinating. This was also taken by the Navy. And so were these images as well. A spherical object moving towards the surface of the water and then disappearing. Here, have a look at this. This is taken from a naval destroyer ship.
I thought those were just like binoculars or something.
Well, it's looking through a scope of some kind, and it's definitely night vision. But I mean, it's really hard to determine what that really is. Listen, this doesn't necessarily mean that these are aliens. Lily, that would be hard because I don't have one, but we're not going to go into that topic.
I'm still confused of what she's talking about, but whatever.
As you guys can see, what makes this really different than a lot of other incidents when footage is captured is that this was taken by the military of the United States. This is not footage from a random person. This is not somebody using their iPhone in their backyard. George Knapp is a very, very credible journalist. Jeremy Corbell has been hunting this stuff down for years now. He's got really good sources and really good connections in this particular community. And the Pentagon came out and said, yeah, this is Navy footage. This was taken by our military. So that leads me to wonder, what exactly is going on here? There's a few main points that I can make about all of this stuff. This has been building up. Something is happening here, right? So it goes like this. From 2019, like if you take the number of UFO sightings from in 2019, and then you look at 2020 and 2021, it jumps by, I think, like over 400%, which is a massive spike in sightings. Then,
isn't that like quadruple or something?
Just about, yeah. But then you also have the fact that just a few years ago in 2017, footage that was released by the Navy, and then the Pentagon said, yes, this is real. Which that had never happened. Ever. They've never done something like that before. There's multiple pieces of footage. Then the Pentagon comes out and says it's real. Then the Pentagon says that there's a secret...
just lagged.
Then the Pentagon says there's a secret UFO task force, more than one, that has been funded by millions of dollars and has been working on these things, for years, but that one of them was shut down. Now, everybody can kind of read between the lines there. There's obviously other programs going on that are much more secret, that probably have a lot more funding, that have been going on since at least the 40s. But for them to even reveal to us that they were ever researching it at all, outside of like Project Blue Book and Project Sign, like that says a lot, because we're not used to having that kind of confirmation from the government or the military on these types of on this type of subject. It's just not normal. This doesn't happen. So, now with that being said, then we have this. Again, more footage, more images, and then the Pentagon comes out and says, yes, it's real. But to top it off, throughout this entire period from 2017 till now, the Pentagon says, hey, we're going to put together a task force. An Unidentified Aerial Phenomenon Task Force, the UAPTF, which was mentioned in the article I just read. And they're going to brief the public on some of their findings. That's right, they're going to give us some info, some sort of data drop in June. I think June 8th or around that time. So in just a couple months here, we're going to be getting something. Now, I don't necessarily think we should all be holding our breath on that per se, because it may just be more of the same. Here's some more images of things that we can't identify. We don't know what they are. Or it could be something much more mind-blowing, much more earth-shattering. We just have no idea. But it's really obvious something's going on here. Like, I know there are people that watch this, watch my channel, that watch the 0 Hour podcast, that watch my Battlefront streams, that watch my VR chat streams, that watch any video that I make, and they hear me talking about these things. Because it comes up randomly when I'm doing anything else aside from this podcast. And I know some of you don't believe it. The evidence is becoming hard to ignore at this point. Like, this isn't something that you can just look past and say, well, I just don't believe it. Like, be rational, be open-minded, and look at the evidence that I'm putting in front of you. It's very, very hard to just sit here and tell yourself that this isn't real. There's footage. There's radar data. There's eyewitness accounts. There's all these images. There's confirmation from the Pentagon. There's confirmation from pilots. There's confirmation from Department of Defense and intelligence personnel. Like, it's happening, okay? And maybe we don't. And when I say we, maybe just humanity as a whole. Like, anybody that actually knows the truth about what's going on, maybe they really don't know as much as we think they know. But it is happening, and we have to address it. There are objects coming into our airspace with impunity. They are not from China. They're not from Russia. They're not from Iran. They're not from North Korea. We have no idea what they are. They are shaped in such a way that they should be. They're like violating the laws of aerodynamics. They're violating the laws of physics in the way that they move. And they are running circles around our best pilots and our most advanced weaponry and machinery. We have to take this seriously. Maybe they are a threat. I hate to say that. I don't think that's the case. I mean, if they wanted to be a threat, they sure could, because we can't even catch up to them. We would lose every race if you put two of these things side by side. You got an F-18 and one of their craft, and they take off at the same time. They are going to win every time. They can dematerialize. They blip in and out of this dimension, it appears, or they're cloaking themselves or something. They're able to move in ways that would kill a human pilot. Like, they're not everybody seems to think about this, but when a pilot is flying a jet, there are certain maneuvers and certain ways of operating the aircraft that must be executed properly, or it's going to kill you. the G-forces. Like, you can't just be like, okay, I'm going to get in this plane, and I'm going to spin the damn thing as fast as I can at Mach 4. Like, it's going to kill you. Your head's going to splatter across the windshield of that plane. Like, it's just not something that can be done. So that's why we have to take this into consideration, that these objects are doing things that would kill human pilots. So, it's possible that maybe there's no beings inside of these ships, and that maybe they are alien drones that can do things that would kill an alien pilot. Who knows? Either way, it's not ours. These things don't belong to us at all. It's not from Earth. For sure, not self-promoting by changing my nickname in the server. What's up, Duck? I mean, do your thing, man. Do your thing. There is a self-promotion channel, as you know, so if you want to self-promote, be my guest. Now, let's move into some of the other information in regards to all of this that's happening. Well, actually, you know what? Before that, I want to show you guys something that I came across earlier. And this is from my state of New Jersey. And this is from last year, I believe. Maybe a little old, but I had never seen this. UFO sightings. Remarkable footage reveals a cloaked triangle UFO over New Jersey. Let's have a look at the footage. Doesn't appear to really have any volume with it. As you can see, it does look like one solid triangular object that seems to be moving through the night sky. As you can see, all the lights remain equidistant to each other. And definitely not like a giant airplane, right? Like, let's think about all the things that it's not. It's not a helicopter. Here we go. We got more footage. The hidden underbelly.
News night of a UFO. So let's
Here,
check
let's.
it out and we'll talk about
Oh, I've seen. Okay, so yeah, I've seen this footage.
To a people known for their resilience.
Oh, look at this.
That was pretty cool. This was submitted to MUFON, but I had
The hidden underbelly is really cool. I didn't see this coming. I didn't know that this was going to be playing afterwards.
News Nightly.
Yeah, there it is right there. I don't want to like use too many other people's material in the live stream because it may upset some people, so I don't want to do that. But shout out to Hidden Underbelly. I've been subscribed to them for a while. But yeah, that footage was taken in my state. This is dated September 15th, 2020, so not all that long ago. But nonetheless, intriguing footage. Doesn't appear to have any video. Doesn't have any video. You didn't see the video. Oh. Oh! I know why I didn't change sources. I tried to change sources and then it didn't, and I know why it didn't. But it's okay. We'll replay the footage. It's cool. No big deal. Oh, now it doesn't want to load the video? Yeah, really? Here, we're gonna reload the site. Sorry about that. There we go. Alright. Let me just double check. Alright, now again, no sound associated with the footage. Here, I'll just let it play. You guys can see. This is very similar to what I saw in the woods when I was a kid, except I was able to see the shape of the object defined against the night sky because the night sky we had a full moon, and it was actually rather bright out. You know, it's one of those nights where the moon is really lighting up the sky. I was actually able to see the entire object, whereas here, you're kind of guessing at the shape based on the location of the lights. But I mean, you know, it's always possible that these are just airplanes that are moving.
What does it look like then?
It looks like a triangular craft, and
because it looks like it'd be like a Star Wars thing. Forgot what it's called.
Star Destroyer.
Yeah.
Yeah, it looks way different than a Star Destroyer, but same shape. But the reason I don't think that these are planes is because we're not seeing the usual FAA required lights that are used by damn near all aircraft. And they move equidistant to each other, meaning that they do not appear to change the distance in which they are apart from one another at any point in time. And it looks like one solid object with 3 lights on each corner. The nickname for this is the TR-3B. However, after watching some recent videos and listening to some podcasts, I'm no longer going to refer to the black triangle UFOs as TR-3Bs because the guy who came up with that term was actually a hoaxer. So we're going to want to just call it the black triangle. Black triangle sounds cooler, to be honest with you. Like, TR-3B, it's kind of like, well, what the hell is that? It sounds like a new microwave or something. Like, we don't, it doesn't tell you anything. It could be a Star Wars droid. Yeah, exactly, but it's like completely unnecessary. But like, these things are in the sky. So it's like, are we supposed to just ignore this and act like we're not seeing it and just be like, no, man, every time it's a helicopter, it's a plane, it's swamp gas, it's light aberrations, it's sun dogs, it's flares, like, it's all these different things that, and sometimes sun it is. Dog. Look up what a sun dog is. I'm not even going to, like, go into that. I actually don't even know how to, like, describe that to you, but yeah, sun dog is a thing. But these things are in the sky, and we have to recognize that, and we have to come to grips with the fact that we're not the only kids on the block. We're not. We're not alone in the universe.
That looks cool.
It's like we either are or not. And this is a famous quote, but both are equally terrifying in their own right. Now here. I want to show you guys this clip. This is from Jeremy Corbell. This is from the Bob Lazar documentary. It's Bob Lazar, Area 51, and Flying Saucers. This is a very, very interesting clip. Now, again, Bob Lazar claims to have worked at Area 51 specifically at a facility called S4. He claims that he was working on reverse engineering alien spacecraft, flying saucers. That's exactly what they were. And in this clip, Bob speaks about the technology he got his hands on and some of the things that he saw. So let's play the clip. This is extremely, extremely interesting. And again, this is from extraordinarybeliefs.com. This comes from the investigative film series by Jeremy Corbell, known as Extraordinary Beliefs. That's like the actual series. There's other films in that series that you all should watch. I would love to do a breakdown on some of these. But here we go. Let's play the clip. So again, this is coming from Jeremy Corbell's website. Shout out to Jeremy. I would love to get him on the podcast. He would be fun to talk to. And Bob Lazar would be like the one guy I wish I could get on. I don't think I have a good chance of doing that. He's a very private man, but nonetheless, let's watch the video.
DMs you on Twitter tomorrow.
You're telling me there's a different physics. That was your job. You were working on that.
The science was something we were trying to figure out, but we knew how the devices would operate. For instance, the propulsion of the craft. Everything that we have, whether it's a propeller plane or a jet or a rocket, it throws something out the back, either high-speed exhaust or a large volume of air. It's an action-reaction force. The action is you throw something out the back and it moves you forward. That's how everything works. This is the first time there's a craft it's a reactionless craft. It's a field propulsion craft. And what it does is it creates a distortion in space and time in front of it, where space actually bends.
It's just technology that doesn't exist yet. I mean, you're talking about science doesn't even know what gravity is, much less how to produce it or control it. And here is a device that's producing it and controlling it.
Put a bowling ball in the middle of your bed, and then a foot in front of it, take your fist and push down on the mattress. The bowling ball will roll towards it. And that's exactly how the craft works. It creates a distortion right in front of it, and the craft falls forward.
So there's a different physics that we're not...
Well, the science that explains how the technology works. I mean, it's all encompassed as one thing, alien technology and science.
what is the big picture? What is the takeaway of your story after you're gone? You're not a rebel kid with a jet car at Los Alamos today. Today's a different Bob Lazar, right?
Right.
What have we learned? What's the message of your story?
The big thing is the suppression of extremely advanced technology and the suppression of unknown science. That's it.
If that's not interesting, I don't know what is, man. Like, I could listen to that guy talk for hours. Like, I would love. I mean, there's so many questions that I could ask him. But here, I'll show you guys the films that are in the series. Hunt for the Skinwalker.
Are you so loud?
The Bob Lazar. What?
You're so loud on Discord for some reason.
Figure it out, man. Like, it's your volume, not mine.
I know.
Patient 17. It's about alien abduction. That's terrifying to watch. I have not seen I Am Nano Man. I saw some of Immaculate Deception, which is interesting.
Watch 2003: A Space Odyssey.
Anonymous Interview. This one we may have to play.
That was a weird movie.
What? 2001: A Space Odyssey?
2003. As a one.
It's amazing. So, I'll give you guys the premise on this one. This motion picture is an exploration into the witness testimony of a highly controversial alleged ex-CIA operative who claims through his military and intelligence career to have been exposed to realities and technologies of an extraterrestrial nature. A cosmic whistleblower who was threatened for over a decade to not break his silence. This deathbed confession was featured as official witness testimony at the citizens' hearing on disclosure at the National Press Club in Washington, D.C., and has caused hot debate within the intelligence and UFO communities. Runs for 22 minutes. There was a Vice interview involved here. I've seen this interview. This gentleman here was dying.
Good.
And he decided to come out with this information because he was dying. And he was like, well, what's the worst thing they can do to me if I put this information out? They're going to kill me. I'm already dying. So, that's, and they say that people tend to be most honest in their time of death, or they're nearing the end. So it's very likely that this gentleman was being honest about what he was speaking about. So I have a proposition for you guys in the chat. Wait, let's see. Sheev says, some user named SugarBabe69 just commented on my latest vid saying they miss your streams and they're not sad you blocked them. I don't know what they're talking about. They miss my streams, but they're not sad that I blocked them?
No, it's so confusing.
Well, I think maybe he didn't mean to type it that way in that. Well, if this is somebody that... What?
What's happening? My game's freaking out.
Oh, well, anyways, if it's somebody that wants to come back to the channel or like got banned accidentally, they could always get in contact with me on Discord, Sheev. You could always point them in that direction. If they want, I'll speak to them. I have no problem with that. But I have to figure out who they are first before I can make a determination on that kind of thing. You guys, listen, I want you guys to hear this out of my mouth right now. Like, I want my, like, when it comes to like covering this kind of topic here, this is where I want to be as professional as possible. I don't want to be sitting here and being kind of like my normal, relaxed, let's kick back and chill self, like when I'm playing Battlefront or I'm in VR chat and I'm just letting curse words fly and we're laughing and doing stuff. Like, I take this topic very seriously. I find it fascinating. I think it's extremely important. So there are, it's almost like a split personality kind of thing, but not like, I don't want to, like, let's not be confusing here. I don't want to really truly describe it that way, but it's for lack of a better description. This is why I started my YouTube channel with stuff like this. This is what I had in mind when I began my YouTube channel. I'm thinking of down the road creating a channel specifically for the other types of content, gaming and all the other, the fun stuff, music and everything. But this channel right now, as it stands, this is the kind of stuff that I really want to be talking about and putting videos out about. And I hope you guys will come along for that ride. It seems like some of you are at least somewhat interested in hearing it, maybe even very interested. So I got a proposition for you guys. Now, I have a crazy work week coming up here. Well, it's not even coming up, like we're in it. We are in the midst of that week. I have to get up at 3 a.m. every day this week for work. I'm working 4 a.m. to 12:30 every day. This weekend I'm off. So I have an idea. Because I feel like you guys should really, really watch this. But it costs money. So this is what we're going to do. The Bob Lazar Area 51 and Flying Saucers documentary. I'm going to play the trailer. And then I'm going to tell you what I think we should do this Friday.
This story is extraordinary, especially if it's true. And it all started in the desert, just north of Las Vegas.
A local scientist who worked at Groom Lake
said to be where top-secret weapon systems have been tested over the years.
He has asked that his identity be shielded.
Exactly what's going on up there?
What's going on up there could be the most important event in history. Physical contact and proof from another system, another planet, another intelligence.
What would happen to you if the government learned that you were giving us this information?
He just wanted to stay alive.
Maybe this has been kept from us for a good reason.
Sir, how do we know you are who you say you are?
My name's Bob Lazar. I'm known for working at a classified base and reverse engineered alien spacecraft.
It went all over the world. He put Area 51 on the map. Can we ever be made whole if we're not believed? We can't verify what was going on in his background.
I have no motivation to lie.
The science and the technology can change us.
We've always looked to the skies for answers, instead of looking into ourselves.
I've seen this documentary 3 times. It is
Back.
easily rewatchable over and over again. So, this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to buy it. I rented it. I'm going to buy it. No video on that again? Really? Why is it not switching sources? Well, that's a little odd. Alright, we'll replay that. I'm sorry, everybody. I don't mean to be a pain. I thought the source switched.
I just saw you wasn't talking. I was very confused.
Nope, that's okay. We'll do it live! Like, easily fixable. Alright. Alright, I think I got this sorted out. Alright, let's watch the trailer. You may have heard it, but let's watch it. And I'm gonna tell you I'll just tell you right beforehand what we'll do. I'm off this weekend, so what we'll do is I'll give you guys something you want, a lot of you want, and and then I'll do something I want to do, right? So what I'll do is when I get off of work on Friday, I'll hit up Sith and Pre and everybody. We'll do a little Battlefront stream for a couple hours. But then we're going to do the first ever movie night on my Discord. Join the Discord. I am going to stream this movie. I'm going to stream it. I'm going to make sure, at least try to get it to work. And if it doesn't work at first, I know how I can get it to work. So I'll make sure everything's in place first and know that it will function properly so that we're not doing it in the middle of it. But instead of you guys having to go out and pay for it and watch it yourselves, I will stream it and we'll sit and watch it together. And I think you're really going to want to see it. So here, now, properly, here's the trailer.
This story is extraordinary, especially if it's true. And it all started in the desert, just north of Las Vegas.
A local scientist who worked at Groom Lake
Said to be where top-secret weapon systems have been tested over the years.
He has asked that his identity be shielded.
Exactly what's going on up there?
What's going on up there could be the most important event in history. Physical contact and proof from another system, another planet, another intelligence.
What would happen to you if the government learned that you were giving us this information?
He just wanted to stay alive.
Maybe this has been kept from us for a good reason.
Sir, how do we know you are who you say you are?
My name's Bob Lazar. I'm known for working at a classified base and reverse engineered alien spacecraft.
It went all over the world. He put Area 51 on the map. Can we ever be made whole if we're not believed? We can't verify what was going on in his background.
I have no motivation to lie.
The science and the technology can change us.
We've always looked to the skies for answers, instead of looking into ourselves.
Alright, I'm pretty sure everybody saw it that time. So, that's what we're going to do. If you guys are interested, you may already be in the Discord. But I'll definitely, each day throughout the week, kind of give a rundown. And what I'll do, maybe I can just put a little video together about Bob Lazar to kind of hype the event up a little bit and get you guys on board here and interested in watching it. This is such a wild documentary, such an interesting story. And I really think you all would really get your minds blown out of the back of your heads if you watched it. So that's what we're going to do. Friday, we'll do a little Battlefront stream for a couple hours. And then let's all sit together, make some popcorn, you know, grab some sodas. And I will stream this on my Discord. And we'll watch it together. Free of charge, free of admission, because that would be illegal. Like, if, again, don't ever do that. If you ever do something like that, like what I'm going to do, where you're streaming a film, a show, or anything of that sort through your Discord, or even your YouTube channel, if you find a way to do that without them taking it down, don't charge people to be there. A, it's not really cool to do that, and B, it is very illegal at this point, and they'll hit you with a felony. And that's not something you're going to want. So, alright, everybody, what I'm going to do now is I'm going to take a short break, short little intermission for like 5-10 minutes. And then when we get back, we're going to move along and talk more about some of the stuff that I uncovered over the last few days. So, I shall return shortly. Alright, and we're back. We're doing our thing. We are back. So. If you think you're about to admit to doing something that bypasses a legal showing of a film, I'd not say that out loud. Also, no video. Discord does specifically forbid it in their terms of service. Really? Hey, Mr. Unlikely, how are you, man? So you're saying that I can't stream this? Well, I guess I'm gonna have to, figure something out then. Boy, do these companies and organizations really take the fun out of just about everything, don't they?
And we have Watch Together? Oh, wait, no.
Well, it's... it wouldn't... Yeah, I was gonna say in Watch Together. I don't think that would even function properly.
Huh?
What?
Did you say something?
Yeah. I've been talking. So I don't think me trying to do this in Watch Together would function properly because it's a purchased.
I know. Watch
film.
Together's only YouTube.
Right, but this would be on YouTube.
Ah.
It's really hard to determine. Maybe what we'll do is watch some of the videos that I have saved about this whole topic that are really good, and some of them are like at least 30 minutes long, and we can kind of put that together and watch it together. It's really interesting stuff either way. I highly recommend that everybody that has any kind of interest in this stuff, you really should go watch this documentary. There's a lot of really pertinent information in it, and again, it's extraordinary if it is indeed true, which I do believe it is. I do believe Bob Lazar is being truthful, and it paints an incredible picture for us of this remarkably important thing that's going on in the shadows that we are not privy to. The public is not being brought in as a witness to it. We are not allowed to know. You know, it's starting to feel like that's maybe changing, where maybe we are gonna, you know, get some beans spilled in front of us and, you know, pick them up and look at them ourselves. But it's a cover-up that's been going on for decades, with the original idea being that because of like the War of the Worlds radio incident and all those other things, that we were not going to be able to handle this kind of information. That's the biggest thing, is that the military, specifically the military, and then, you know, the powers that be in the government said, look, and this, I'll use Roswell as an example. An alien spacecraft crashes in Roswell, New Mexico. That's what it was. It's really obvious. The Air Force, or the Army comes out and admits it and says, yep, we have a crashed disk, and it's not from Earth. It's pretty much what they did. The next day, they changed their statement and said it was a weather balloon. They would have known it was a weather balloon within 2 minutes of looking at the wreckage. They would not have put out that kind of statement because of the hysteria, the panic, and just the chaos it would have caused. So take that into consideration. Now, it's believed that somebody, like I said, the powers that be in Washington, called up those responsible for releasing that story that were in the military and said, you got to shut this down now. That's an order. We can't put this out because the public is not going to take it well. They're going to be frightened. They're going to think we're under attack. They're going to think the world is over. It's going to like crumble certain religions. You know, I mean, it's not an easy process. So what I think is going on now, and I hope this is the case, is something that I've spoken about before in previous episodes of the podcast, called slow motion disclosure or trickle down disclosure, you know, where instead of having one news briefing to rule them all, you know, somebody comes up to a podium and makes the announcement like, hey, yep, they're visiting us, this is all real, and we've been covering it up for decades. Instead of that process, what they're doing, I think, again, let me reiterate, I think this is what they're doing, because it sure looks that way, is little by little, they're getting us accustomed to the idea that we aren't alone in the universe, and then slowly they're like, well, they might be visiting us because we don't know what these objects are. And then they release footage, and then they release images, and then the Pentagon comes out and says it's real, and then it happens multiple times, and then the amount of sightings goes up by a significant percentage over the course of 2 years, and little by little, we're gonna get used to it. What's up, man? Not tonight. Not tonight. Not tonight. I gotta get up at 3 in the morning. I'm dealing with the wisdom tooth, the stomach infection. So, keeping it low-key this evening, my friend. It'll happen, though. I streamed it last night. It's definitely worth going to watch that stream, I would believe. Now, I've never done this on any of my streams or in any videos before, but I have a couple emails from some viewers. People that I didn't know watched my channel. What's up, TJP? How are you, man? Yeah, I believe that. I really do. I really, really do. I have specifically 3 emails with questions. So it's like user feedback time here. Subscriber feedback. And we're going to read these emails. Yeah. Now you guys aren't going to see it because I don't necessarily want my email being opened on screen because, you know, privacy, but definitely definitely gonna read this to you. I've seen a video on your channel, the UFOs in the sky, where a green laser was pointed at. Yeah, that's a really interesting piece of footage. I'm gonna start doing a lot more videos like that, a lot more. You know, I really want my channel to really be more focused around those kinds of things. And the gaming and everything else, you know, it's fun, but I do want that to be secondary to a point, where I will, like, create another channel for it at some point. Really? Now that's interesting. You and your friends did that as kids. That's really cool. I would like to have that kind of experience. Like, I had an experience that goes far beyond laser pointers, but I mean, I would still like to be able to do that kind of thing, because it's just, you know, who wouldn't, really? I know it can be a little scary, but, like, I would still want to experience something like that. So this first email is from somebody named Jezer, who apparently watches my channel but is not active in the chat. Oh, well, no, man. So, like, later in the week on Friday, I'm going to do, like, a nighttime Battlefront stream. I did one last night.
Nightbot just bullied TJ?
Why did Nightbot just do that?
Stop spamming words.
What? He's just talking. Oh, we gotta do something about Nightbot, man. We were pointing at stars and suddenly a star started moving away whenever we pointed at it. That is really interesting. What's up, Justin? So the first email reads, Hi Cortex, I've been watching your channel for about 6 months. I'm a real fan of when you make paranormal/UFO vids. My question to you is, why do you believe it is important to convince people that these things are actually real? Well, that's actually a really good question. I mean, because there's so many different answers you could give to that. So, Jezer, thanks for your email, dude. I appreciate that. again, you don't always have to be active in the live stream chats or even in the comments to be somebody that follows the channel. Like, any feedback is really
like
welcome.
1,000 emails.
Hey, maybe I wouldn't mind. Try to get to as many of them as I can, but you gotta do your best. So it's important. Again, you can never know anything for certain, but I'm 99.9% sure this is happening at this point. It's important because it reveals to us that our understanding of science and physics is wrong. That's the first major point, is that there is a civilization out there that has utilized technology that we can't even begin to understand yet. They are seemingly breaking the laws of physics as we currently understand them, which means that we may not know as much about those kinds of things as we think we do. And that's why that's important. Because, for example, Bob Lazar had spoken about some of the functions of the craft he was working on, and said that one of the craft was breaking the rules or laws of thermodynamics, and that the laws of thermodynamics are actually incorrect. So that's one part. It's the idea that our understanding of science, technology, physics, mathematics, there's a huge part of the puzzle that's missing here. Just imagine the hidden bases. Area 51 is visible, but you cannot get very close to it. Military government even bought more land around it just to keep people further away from it.
Isn't disappeared on Google Maps and stuff?
Well, certain portions of it are not allowed to be seen. Correct. Like, if you go look at it, you can see it, but you're not going to get too much information on it from that. So, one of the other important reasons why people should believe this is that it could completely change the way we look at ourselves. Some people believe that we are the be-all, end-all, most important, beautiful, awe-inspiring creation in the universe. And if we find out that we are not, it may humble us a little bit to realize, hey, we're not the only tenants in this apartment complex. Like, we have to recognize that there are other life forms that are much smarter than us, that have survived longer than us, that have experienced so much more than the human race, that they would be great to learn things from. That's one of the most important things, is what can we gain from an interaction from one of these intelligences? That's huge. Yeah, that's what they say, that the 10% thing with the brain. They do say that. I've heard that many times. Alright, so that email is really cool. I like that question. The next email is more of a comment. This is from somebody named Lady4457H. Lady says, Dear Cortex Zero, I really like your videos, and I wish you would do more videos in relation to ghosts. Thank you for the email. Now, that's definitely going to be a thing. Definitely going to be doing more of that. Alright, so I'm going to get to this third email. I'm going to take another quick little break here. I'm dealing with a stomach infection. Don't mind me. I'm not trying to get too personal, but hold that thought. I'll be back in 5 minutes. Nature calls.
Yeah, but it could have been something that, typically the food and walk this way. Yeah. Call me if you need me. I'll be right with you.
Alright, what's up everybody? I'm back. I got live abducted. No, I'm on a lot of fairly high dose of a medication right now to fight off a stomach infection, and like, not to go into too much detail or anything here because it's really not necessary. Not everything that I'm eating is reacting well with it, and my stomach will start to cramp, and like you'll hear it making noises, and next thing you know it's like, yo, like, do have to hit the bathroom. Not someone's oh my god, this dude's still talking about 501st Joker. That's funny.
What?
But yeah, no, it's some troll in the chat. It says Cortex fears 501st Joker, even though like I'm pretty sure in Battlefront I've already defeated this person. Like, I'm pretty sure they didn't even, like, provide that much of a challenge. Like, it's whatever. It's not even, like, so irrelevant to what we're doing right now. He says, Cortex Zero fears 501st Joker, is afraid of him. Cortex Zero is a kid. He's a kid. Yuri. Kid. That's it, man. Yeah, we showed it earlier in the stream, TJP, but because you brought it up, I'll play it one more time, because why not, right? Like, we'll just have another look at that again. There's photos and footage. Footage is coming up here. Yeah, here it is. So it was leaked online, and the Pentagon came out and confirmed that the footage itself was taken by the Navy on a naval destroyer. Yeah, I know the Joker is too, man. Like, I don't know what his deal is with me, or like why somebody keeps showing up and saying stuff like that. I really don't even know him. I have like nothing bad to say about the guy or anything. I think he's just picking fights with people. I think it's just like a clout thing. He's like, oh, it's a YouTuber, let me start shit with him to give myself publicity, you know, that kind of thing. I mean, I barely play the game anymore, so it's like I really don't care. I have a virtual reality headset, man. Like, do you really think I want to play Battlefront that much? No, TJP, it's confirmed that it was not a plane. Confirmed. The night vision taken of an unidentified looked like an old spurware manufactured by the French. So operated by the United States Air National Guards. Okay, drones can stay airborne for 5 hours and detect targets 130 miles away. Alright, Bazuma, I guess I should be afraid of Joker, right? Like, would that satisfy you guys? Like, okay. Like, who cares? So, Justin, that's a really great comment. Really great comment. Good insight. But what I can tell you from what I've been reading is that this is under investigation by the Department of Defense and the Unidentified Aerial Phenomenon Task Force, and it has been confirmed to be none of these things. They know that it wasn't that. Well, how they know it wasn't a plane, It's obviously the way it acted, because planes can perform certain aerial maneuvers, whereas apparently this object was doing things that our planes cannot. The shape, the way the lights behave, radar tracking information. They knew what planes were in the area that night. If it was Russian or Chinese or anything like that, you know, we're on guard for that sort of thing. And also, these are very trained observers that know a hell of a lot more about aircraft and what they can do than any of us. So that's how they know it wasn't a plane. Right, okay, fair enough, but it came to a stop. It came to a stop. And also, let's also take into consideration the other objects that were seen in the images. Those were clearly not airplanes. I've never seen an airplane shaped like a sphere or an acorn. And again, these are really fair questions, and it's good to be skeptical. I don't want you to think that I'm like hating on you here or anything. It's nothing like that. But there's enough information that we probably don't even have ourselves, that we don't even have access to, that leads everyone involved with this incident to believe that this was not normal. So I just wanted to touch upon that email I had been reading from another viewer there. As far as like doing videos about hauntings and ghosts and things of that sort, like I do plan on continuing that sort of research too. I find it really fascinating. I really want to touch upon some of the things in the Netflix series Surviving Death. It's very interesting. It's a scary subject for me and a lot of other people, but there's definitely a bright side to it. If these things actually exist, yes, then there's nothing to fear. But with the pandemic going on, there are places that I've been wanting to visit that are historical sites that are considered haunted, and that if you go there, people have had experiences, have taken photos and videos of things, picked up noises, EVPs, etc., and they've been closed down because of the pandemic. But now that things appear to be getting a little bit better, perhaps I will be able to make my way to some of these areas and do some really, really, really deep dive videos on these particular sites in my state, and maybe even outside the state, you know, maybe in Pennsylvania, Washington, D.C., Virginia, Delaware, New York, Massachusetts, like that's, you know, just in the general vicinity. Or, you know, maybe I'll take a trip cross country and do something cool. Who knows? If I can find the time to do that, I will. For the time being, I just have to kind of stick to what I know and what I can get away with. What, Alabama?
Yeah.
Oh, well, there's
I
haunted.
don't know anything haunted down here.
There's haunted sites in every state. Well, I know somewhere haunted in Alabama. Your house. I'm just kidding.
Ah.
A plane in those maneuvers would have shredded itself under the pressure of the G-forces needed to make those moves. Of course. That's the other thing, too, is that an object traveling at a high rate of speed that comes to a dead stop, like, that would really, really be dangerous for a human pilot as we understand physics currently. A lot of things in play, G-forces, centripetal force, etc. Like, if an airplane is, say, going 756 miles per hour, about the speed of sound, and it were to just stop, like, that pilot is dead. You know, I don't claim to know what that would look like. Oh, dude, they would probably fly out the front of the plane and rip through the guards and their straps. Like, it would be tremendously violent, the outcome of such a thing. Okay, so we got one more email to read here. This is actually a guy named Marlor that I used to play Grand Theft Auto with. So I was reading it and I'm like, where do I know this name? And then he says it. He says, "Yo, Cortex, just wanted to pop in and say hello. I've been watching your channel for a while. We used to play GTA together. I don't know if you remember me. But keep up the good work. I enjoy all the videos that you do. And just so you know, I'm a big fan of the Battlefront streams, but not just the Battlefront streams. So I'm glad somebody else said it, like, because we're moving away from that. I would really like to see some more videos on consciousness, as well as looks like a typo. I think what he meant to say is, as well as other content that has to do with anything weird. That stuff is really cool to me, and I like how you cover it. We should definitely play GTA again sometime. Peace. So, appreciate you, Marlor. Like, dude, oh my god, this was before I knew like a lot of you, actually. Like, it was like a long time ago. Like, I had only been streaming Battlefront for a little while, and then I took a break from it and was just like playing a bunch of GTA and wasn't even streaming really, but it was while I had the channel. Consciousness is really cool. I definitely want to cover that. It's very unknown. We don't have a firm understanding of what consciousness really is. I was talking about it with Presumptuous, Deadly, and Sith last night, I believe, where I said, you know how you can just kind of picture things in your head and you're seeing them?
Oh yeah,
but you're not seeing them with your eyes. Yeah, no, but
like,
yeah, not right. That's a good example. Or like right now, if I said, "Hey, picture," this is always what I say: picture an apple right now in your head, right? And you can see it. An apple. Yeah, just a simple object. You can see it, but you can't see it. But you're seeing it, but you're not seeing it with your eyes. Like, we don't understand what that is. We don't know what that is, that we're able to do that, or how you can, like, imagine the texture of something and kind of feel it, but you're not really feeling it. Or you can, for example, like, I can make my mouth water just basically imagining a warhead being in my mouth, the candy, the sour candy. Like, I can literally, like, make my tongue, like, buzz and start reacting to that thought. Like, we don't truly understand what any of that is.
Is, like, hypnosis part of this in any way? Because, like, you can, like,
TJP, yes, I have seen plenty of footage from Brazil. Well, yeah, listen, it's... Oh, there's a thing I saw about hypnosis today, that apparently a study showed that hypnosis drastically alters the way that a brain can process information while under hypnosis. That's really interesting. Because some people don't believe in hypnosis for some reason, but it's really obvious that it's a thing. It works. It does function. I know somebody who was put under hypnosis and they quit smoking, like, immediately. They were like a pack-a-day smoker and got put under hypnosis, and they never smoked again. They were hypnotized into not smoking.
I want to try it.
I do too, honestly. I want to do hypnotic regression.
What's that?
Hypnotic regression is when a trained hypnotherapist puts you into a relaxed, like, meditative state, and it's meant to pull back memories that are basically locked away in your head. This is used a lot for alien abduction cases. I know it's a scary subject for some people. It's very creepy. It's unsettling. It's like, this feeling of powerlessness. Like, you're going to go to bed tonight and there's going to be these creatures and they're just going to enter your home and they're going to come through your walls and they're going to take you somewhere and you're not going to know what the hell they're doing to you, and then they're going to put screen memories in your brain and you're not going to be able to truly remember what they did. Now, in cases like that, yeah, people go to hypnotherapists and the hypnotherapist will be like, okay, we're going to go back to the night of, January the 5th. What were you doing? Now, the trick is to try not to steer them into, like, finding exactly what you're looking for. You want to try to find the truth. So the person will be like, okay, it's January 5th, it's 7 o'clock, what are you doing? Tell me what you see. And then just, you guide them along that route. Like, someone who's really good at it could, like, let's say I'm trying to specifically remember a date that I went on years ago that I enjoyed, but I don't truly remember all of it. Like, they can bring it back to me and I will see it in extreme detail, almost as if I am reliving it in my own head, like, very vividly. That's apparently what it's like to be put under hypnotic regression. Something I just want to try, just to experience it. Now,
like, you know those shows where they just do, like, make people think they're like something else?
What's that?
You know where like people just snap at you and like you think you're like.
Yeah, well that's hypnosis.
Yeah.
Be like if I put you under hypnosis and I said, okay, when I snap my fingers, you're gonna turn into a duck. You know, that kind of thing. Stupid shit like that. Like, they use that type of thing for people like, okay, when I snap my fingers, you will no longer smoke cigarettes. And sometimes it works. But you're dealing with a chemical addiction, so sometimes it's not as easy to break, but sometimes the mind is in the right place. The mind is very powerful. It may even be the most powerful thing in the universe, and it is able to overcome such things. So,
is hypnosis like the placebo effect at all?
No, but the placebo effect is like I know what you're getting at, but it's very different. So, what the placebo effect does is like you walk into a doctor's office, and let's say you have nightmares. And I hand you a little white pill, and I said, okay, this white pill is a cure for nightmares. I give you the pill, you take it, and you don't have nightmares. I just tricked you into thinking that the pill actually does that because your brain has the expectation of its effects, and the brain is very powerful, and for some reason, and that doesn't always work, but for some reason the brain will react to it in such a way that I could have handed you a pill that it was just sugar. And
isn't that what they normally use?
Yes, very often they just use sugar tablets, yeah. Very often. I can, you know, but sometimes it's a medical condition that really cannot just be cured with a placebo. Depends. You know, sometimes it does work for things like depression and anxiety and paranoia and things like that, but sometimes it doesn't because some of those things are very powerful and really do need real treatment. TJP said, have you seen the alien footage from Brazil? Like, there's a lot of footage that's come out of Brazil over the years. I don't know which one you're specifically referencing, but I have seen dozens and dozens of videos out of Brazil. That's a hot spot for UFOs. It's a hotbed for that kind of activity for some reason. No one really knows why. But some of the best UFO footage I've ever seen was like in the 90s out of Brazil. There was some really, really cool footage that I saw. Please, the placebo effect also works the other way around. If the doctor tells you that you're sick, you'll get sick. Yeah, I've heard that too. Which you would hope that your doctor would be honest with you and be like, you're not sick. You know. So it's almost like your mind and your body will work hand in hand. Like, I guess you could have, there must be a term for this, but like, let's say I give you a pill that really does treat nightmares or, you know, sadness or something like that, right? Let's say it really does do that. But then the doctor says to you, this is 100% going to relieve you of your symptoms. But yet the science actually says that, no, it's a 50-50 shot. Sometimes that can very much influence the outcome of the effects of the medication in a positive way. So the placebo effect is extremely fascinating as much as it is useful. You know, there's a lot of people who have been cured of certain difficulties as a result of being exposed to the placebo effect. I don't know if they've done, I'm sure they've done new research, but I don't think they've quite figured out why it works. But alright, everybody in the chat, listen, TJ, Justin, Zio, of course, thank you for being here and moderating, and everybody else that dropped in. I appreciate you watching the stream. I got to get up super early, and I think now would be a good time for me to pop off and get some rest. My stomach still doesn't feel that great, so I should really, really take it easy so that I can actually get up for work and get some sleep. Let's read these last couple of comments. So the placebo effect regrettably makes many people sick when they get a false positive test. Yeah, you know, again, good and bad. Good and bad. For sure. Listen, I hope you guys tune in for the next edition of the 0 Hour. We're definitely going to be keeping tabs on all the things that are happening in the UFO community, as well as anything else that's interesting on the fringe that I can find around the internet. And of course, personal experiences and input from myself and others. Thank you for watching. I'm Cortex Zero. I appreciate you guys, but I gotta get some rest. So take care, everybody. We'll see you in the next stream.